the desert whispers, secrets buried beneath shifting sands, echoes of a time lost, a time before history as we know it. This is Mesopotamia, the land between two rivers, the cradle of civilization. Here, in the Fertile Crescent, humanity took its first steps towards greatness. But beneath the dust and debris, a deeper mystery lies hidden. Ancient tablets, inscribed with a language long forgotten, tell tales of powerful gods and the mortals who worship them. This is the story of the forgotten gods of Sumer. "5,000 years ago, a remarkable people emerged from the desert sands, the Sumerians. Innovative and ambitious, they built the world's first cities, developed complex systems of writing and mathematics. Their ingenuity knew no bounds. From the wheel to irrigation, from astronomy to law, the Sumerians laid the foundations for modern society. But their greatest achievement, their most enduring legacy, was their rich and complex mythology. They believed their destiny and the fate of all mankind rested in the hands of powerful, immortal beings, gods and goddesses who ruled from the heavens and walked among them on earth. These were the Anunnaki, the Sumerian pantheon, and their stories, etched in clay and whispered across millennia, still hold the power to captivate and terrify. Time has not been kind to the legacy of Sumer. Their once great cities lie in ruins, their magnificent ziggurats reduced to rubble. Yet the echoes of their civilization resonate through time. In the broken remnants of temples and palaces, we find tantalizing glimpses into a world ruled by the divine. Gods and goddesses, each with their own distinct personalities and powers. There was Enki, the god of wisdom and fresh water, said to have gifted humanity with knowledge. Inanna, the seductive goddess of love and war, whose ambition knew no bounds. And Enlil, the tempestuous god of wind and storms, whose wrath could shake the very heavens. Their stories, passed down through generations, shaped the Sumerian worldview, influencing every aspect of their lives. Anu, the sky god, reigned supreme. A distant, enigmatic figure, he embodied the ultimate power of the cosmos. Beneath him, a complex hierarchy of gods and goddesses governed the forces of nature, human affairs, and the underworld. Inanna, the queen of heaven, is perhaps the most intriguing of them all. Both beautiful and ruthless, she was a force to be reckoned with. Her descent into the underworld, a tale of betrayal, loss, and ultimate resurrection, remains one of the most powerful myths ever told. And then there's Enki, the cunning trickster god who defied the other deities to save humanity from a devastating flood. His story, echoing the biblical tale of Noah's Ark, raises profound questions about the origins of ancient myths and their influence on later religions. These were not simply mythical figures to the Sumerians. They were real, tangible beings whose presence could be felt in the rumble of thunder, the fertility of the land, and the capricious whims of fate. The tales of the Sumerian gods are etched in clay, preserved for millennia in Mesopotamia. These tablets are sacred scriptures containing myths, beliefs, and cosmic tales. Deciphering them reveals the Sumerian pantheon and their influence. These stories were living truths, woven into their existence. The Atrahasis epic tells of gods creating humans from clay to bear their burdens. Enki proposed this solution, and humans were born to serve the gods. This theme of creation for labor is a recurring motif in ancient mythology. It speaks to our place in the cosmos and our relationship with higher forces. The Atrahasis epic paints a vivid picture of early humanity. Humans multiply, cities spread, and the gods grow annoyed. Enlil, disturbed by the noise, proposes calamities. Plague, famine, drought, each brings temporary relief. Enlil's final solution, a great flood. Enki, compassionate, devises a plan to save humanity. Section 4. A world forged in toil. The Atrahasis epic parallels the biblical story of Noah's Ark. Atrahasis is chosen for his wisdom and piety towards Enki. The flood is a consequence of humanity's existence, not sin. This theme resonates today as we face our own environmental challenges. Section 5. The shadow of the Anunnaki. The Anunnaki. The word itself sends shivers down the spine. These were not just gods in the distant, ethereal sense. They were active participants in the lives of the Sumerians. Kingship was a divine mandate. Rulers were chosen by the gods. Temples were centers of power. Agriculture was a gift from the gods. Even war was orchestrated by the gods. The Sumerians lived in a world permeated by the divine. Their gods were active, often capricious beings. This awareness of the divine shaped their worldview. Section 6. The weight of divinity. Who were these beings that held such sway over the lives of the Sumerians? Were they figments of imagination or something more? Extraterrestrial beings, perhaps, who visited Earth in a distant past? The Sumerian gods, whether real or imagined, left an undeniable legacy. In the heart of Sumerian mythology lies a tale of ambition, betrayal, and the unyielding power of the underworld. This is the story of Inanna's descent, a goddess willing to challenge even death itself. Inanna, queen of heaven, desired more than her earthly domain. Her heart yearned for the secrets hidden in the shadows, the power held within the realm of the dead, and so she set her sights on the underworld, ruled by her sister, the formidable Ereshkigal. Ignoring the warnings whispered on the wind, Inanna prepared for her perilous journey. She adorned herself with her finest garments and most potent talismans, each a symbol of her power and authority. She would enter the underworld not as a supplicant, but as a queen. With each step deeper into the earth's embrace, the air grew colder, the darkness more oppressive. Inanna, undeterred, pressed onward, her every step a challenge to the forces of the underworld. The underworld, a realm of shadows and whispers, held no kindness for the living. As Inanna descended through its 7 gates, she was stripped of her power, her regalia, her very essence, leaving her vulnerable and alone. At each gate she faced the chilling gaze of the 7 judges of the underworld, their eyes burning with ancient wisdom and the weight of countless judgments. They saw through her regal facade, recognizing the ambition and pride that had brought her to this perilous place. Finally she stood before Ereshkigal, queen of the underworld. Gone was Inanna's former glory, her beauty reduced to a pale shadow. Ereshkigal, filled with a maelstrom of emotions, resentment, grief, perhaps even a flicker of pity, raised her hand, unleashing a wave of power. Inanna, queen of heaven, was no more. Her lifeless body, desecrated and hung on a hook like a butchered animal, became a gruesome testament to the price of unchecked ambition and the unforgiving nature of the underworld. Back in the world of the living, the very air hung heavy with the news of Inanna's demise. Crops withered, animals refused to mate, the land itself seemed to mourn the loss of its queen. Ninchuba, Inanna's loyal servant, refused to accept her mistress's fate. She traveled to the highest mountain, appealing to the gods for help. She pleaded with Enki, the wise god of wisdom and fresh water, known for his compassion and cunning. Moved by her devotion, Enki agreed to intervene. Knowing he could not directly defy the laws of the underworld, Enki devised a clever plan. He created two tiny, androgynous beings, imbued with the power to pass unseen through the realms of the dead, their mission to reach Ereshkigal and appeal to her mercy. Armed with Enki's instructions and carrying the weight of the world's hope on their tiny shoulders, the two creatures descended into the abyss, their journey a desperate race against time. The fate of Inanna, and perhaps all of creation, hung in the balance. When the creatures found Ereshkigal, they found her consumed by grief and despair. In a twist of fate, the queen of the underworld was herself experiencing the pangs of childbirth. The creatures, using Enki's magic, channeled Ereshkigal's pain and offered words of comfort and understanding. Touched by their compassion, Ereshkigal agreed to a bargain. She would release Inanna, but not without a price. Someone must take her place in the underworld, a life for a life. Inanna, restored to life but forever changed by her ordeal, ascended from the underworld. But her heart was filled not with gratitude but with a burning desire for vengeance. She would not rest until someone paid the price for her suffering, and the world would tremble before the wrath of a queen scorned. The Sumerian pantheon was a tapestry of complex relationships and shifting allegiances. Enlil, the god of wind and storms, unleashed the great flood upon the world. This event, detailed in the Epic of Atrahasis, mirrored the biblical story of Noah's Ark. The deluge highlighted the power of the gods and the resilience of life. The tales of Inanna, Enlil, and the other gods of the Sumerian pantheon offer a glimpse into a world shrouded in mystery and wonder. These were not distant deities removed from the concerns of mortals. They were active participants in the lives of the Sumerians, their presence felt in the rustling of leaves, the crash of thunder, the capricious whims of fate. But what do these stories tell us about ourselves, about our place in the cosmos? Were these gods merely figments of a fertile imagination, projections of human hopes and fears onto the forces of nature, or could there be more to the story? Could these ancient myths hold a grain of truth, a hint of contact with something beyond our understanding? The answers, like the whispers of the abyss, remain elusive, beckoning us to delve deeper into the mysteries of the past. In ancient Sumer, kings were intermediaries, chosen by the gods to govern on their behalf. Their power stemmed directly from the heavens, woven into the fabric of society. Kings traced their lineage back to the gods, claiming descent from the Anunnaki. Their reign was a sacred duty, a responsibility entrusted by the gods. To fail was to invite disaster, to incur the wrath of the heavens. War, a constant in the ancient world, was not merely a human affair in Sumerian belief. The gods, with their own rivalries and alliances, played a direct role in these conflicts. Each city-state had its patron deity, guiding its armies and ensuring prosperity. When city-states clashed, their gods were also at war. Victory was seen as a sign of divine favor. The victorious king would dedicate his triumphs to his patron deity, offering sacrifices and building temples to honor their might. The Sumerians, living in the heart of the Fertile Crescent, recognized the importance of agriculture for their survival. But their relationship with the land went beyond mere sustenance. It was deeply intertwined with their religious beliefs. Enki, the wise and benevolent god of water, was credited with bestowing the gift of agriculture upon humanity. He taught them how to irrigate their fields, how to cultivate crops, how to harness the power of the rivers to ensure a bountiful harvest. The annual cycle of planting and harvesting became a sacred ritual, a tangible expression of the gods' influence on their lives. Temples dedicated to Enki and other agricultural deities dotted the landscape, serving as reminders of their dependence on the divine for their sustenance. The Sumerians understood that their prosperity, their very survival, was inextricably linked to the whims of nature, to the blessings of the gods. Their agricultural practices were a testament to this belief, a blend of practical ingenuity and deep-seated religious devotion. The Sumerians were pioneers not only in agriculture and architecture, but also in the realm of law. Their legal codes, among the oldest known to humanity, reflected a sophisticated understanding of justice and social order. The most famous of these codes, the Code of Hammurabi, was more than just a set of laws. It was presented as a divine decree handed down from the god Shamash, the god of justice and righteousness. This divine mandate legitimized the code, giving it an air of unquestionable authority. The laws, covering everything from family matters to business transactions to criminal offenses, were meant to be applied fairly and impartially, reflecting the divine principles of justice. The Code of Hammurabi, with its emphasis on retribution and its detailed regulations governing daily life, offers a fascinating glimpse into the Sumerian worldview. It reveals a society striving for order and fairness, guided by a belief in a cosmic order ordained by the gods. No structure embodies the Sumerians' religious beliefs more profoundly than the ziggurat. These monumental temples, built of mud brick and rising in a series of terraces, dominated the skylines of their cities, serving as physical and spiritual centers of their world. The ziggurat was conceived as a stairway to heaven, a symbolic link between the earthly realm and the divine. Its ascending levels represented a progression towards the heavens, culminating in the temple at its peak, where priests performed rituals and offered sacrifices to appease the gods. These temples were not open to the public. They were considered the dwelling places of the gods, accessible only to the priestly class, who acted as intermediaries between the divine and the mortal. The ziggurat, in its towering grandeur, served as a constant reminder of the gods' presence, their power and their influence over every aspect of Sumerian life. It was a symbol of their aspirations, their desire to reach towards the heavens, to forge a connection with the divine forces that shaped their world. As we explore the remnants of Sumerian civilization, their crumbling cities, their enigmatic cuneiform script, their awe-inspiring ziggurats, we are left with a sense of wonder and a profound question. Who were these gods that held such sway over their lives? Were they simply figments of a fertile imagination, projections of human hopes and fears onto the forces of nature? Or could there be more to the story? Could these ancient myths hold a grain of truth, a hint of contact with something beyond our understanding? The Sumerian gods, whether real or imagined, left an undeniable legacy. Their stories, etched in clay and whispered across millennia, continue to fascinate and haunt us, a reminder of the enduring power of myth and the mysteries that lie at the heart of human experience. The echoes of Sumerian mythology reverberate through time, influencing civilizations far beyond ancient Mesopotamia. Their stories spread through cultural exchange and conquest. From the Nile to the Aegean, from Jerusalem to Rome, echoes of Sumerian beliefs appear. These similarities raise questions about the transmission of ideas, the universality of myths, and the nature of belief. The story of a great flood is one of the most pervasive myths in human history. It appears in cultures across the globe. The biblical story of Noah's Ark resembles the Sumerian flood myth. In both, a righteous man is warned by a god. He builds a boat, gathers his family and animals, and survives. When the waters recede, he offers a sacrifice. Scholars believe the biblical flood narrative was influenced by Mesopotamian traditions. The flood myth speaks to a deep-seated fear of natural disasters and hope for renewal. The concept of a god who dies and is resurrected is a central tenet of many religions, most notably Christianity. But this motif, far from being unique to Christianity, has its roots in ancient Sumerian mythology. Inanna, the Queen of Heaven, descends into the underworld where she dies and is resurrected. Her story, a powerful allegory for the cycle of life, death and rebirth, shares striking similarities with the later myths of Osiris in Egyptian mythology and Tammuz in Babylonian lore. These dying and rising gods, often associated with fertility and the cycle of the seasons, represent the enduring human fascination with life after death, the cyclical nature of time, and the hope for renewal and regeneration. The Sumerian influence on this pervasive theme is undeniable, demonstrating the enduring legacy of their beliefs and their profound impact on the development of religious thought. Don't forget to like, comment, share and subscribe. The Sumerian civilization exploded onto the world stage seemingly overnight. Their advancements in writing, mathematics, astronomy, and agriculture were unprecedented for their time. How did a people emerging from a Neolithic lifestyle make such leaps in knowledge in a mere blink of history's eye? Ancient texts describe gods who gifted this knowledge to humanity. Enki, the god of wisdom, is often depicted as the benefactor, sharing the secrets of civilization with chosen individuals. But what if these gifts were more literal than myth allows? Could the Sumerians have been the beneficiaries of extraterrestrial intervention, their sudden advancement the result of contact with advanced beings from beyond our world? It's a question that sparks controversy and ignites the imagination, pushing the boundaries of accepted history and challenging us to reconsider the origins of human civilization. One of the most curious and hotly debated aspects of Sumerian art is the recurring depiction of deities holding peculiar handbag-like objects. These objects, often intricately detailed, appear in various contexts, held by gods and goddesses of different ranks and domains. Their purpose remains a mystery, fueling speculation and giving rise to intriguing theories. Some researchers, pointing to the object's resemblance to modern-day portable technology, suggest they might represent something far more advanced than ancient artistry allows. Could these handbags be symbolic representations of advanced tools or devices, evidence of technology beyond the comprehension of the Sumerians themselves? The idea is certainly provocative, challenging us to imagine a past where extraterrestrial visitors interacted with our ancestors, leaving behind tantalizing clues of their presence in the art and mythology of a nascent civilization. Don't forget to like, comment, share, and subscribe. The Sumerians possessed an advanced understanding of astronomy, mapping the stars and planets with a precision that belied their seemingly primitive technology. Their cosmology, their understanding of the universe, was remarkably sophisticated, dividing the heavens into constellations that would later be adopted by the Greeks and form the basis of modern astronomy. Their myths are filled with stories of sky gods, celestial beings who descended from the heavens to interact with humanity. Anu, the sky god, ruled from the highest heavens. Inanna, the queen of heaven, journeyed across the cosmos. Even the Anunnaki, the Sumerian pantheon, were said to have descended from the stars. Could these myths be more than mere stories? Could they be echoes of actual events, distorted through the lens of time and mythologized by a people trying to make sense of encounters with beings from beyond their world? Were the Sumerian gods, in fact, extraterrestrial visitors, their advanced technology misinterpreted as divine power? Don't forget to like, comment, share, and subscribe. Section 4. Chariots of Fire. Ancient texts describe celestial objects, chariots of fire, descending from the heavens. These descriptions, often associated with the gods and their movements across the cosmos, have fueled speculation about ancient astronauts and extraterrestrial visitations. Were these simply metaphorical descriptions of natural phenomena like comets or meteor showers, misinterpreted by a culture lacking a scientific understanding of the universe? Or could they be literal accounts of advanced spacecraft, their technology far beyond the comprehension of the ancient world? The debate rages on, fueled by a thirst for knowledge, a fascination with the unknown, and a desire to find our place in the vastness of the cosmos. The evidence, tantalizing yet inconclusive, invites us to question, to explore, to imagine a past where the boundaries of human history might extend far beyond the confines of our planet. Don't forget to like, comment, share, and subscribe. The sands of time have swallowed much of Sumer. Their cities lie in ruins, their once mighty kings long turned to dust. Yet the whispers of their civilization echo through the millennia, carried on the wings of myth and legend. We have journeyed back to the cradle of civilization, delved into the heart of their beliefs, encountered gods and goddesses whose power shaped the destiny of humanity. We have explored their myths, their rituals, their profound impact on the religions and cultures that followed. But the deeper we delve, the more elusive the answers become. The line between myth and reality blurs, leaving us with more questions than answers. Who were these gods that held such sway over the Sumerian people? Were they simply figments of a fertile imagination, or something more? The mystery endures, a testament to the enduring power of belief and the insatiable human desire to understand our place in the cosmos. From the fertile soil of Mesopotamia, the Sumerians built the world's first civilization. They erected magnificent cities, developed groundbreaking systems of writing and mathematics, and gazed upon the stars with a wisdom that belied their time. Their achievements laid the foundation for every civilization that followed, their innovations echoing through the corridors of history. But their greatest legacy, their most enduring gift to humanity, was their mythology. The stories they told, the gods they worshipped, the beliefs they held dear. These were the seeds from which civilization sprung. These tales, passed down from generation to generation, shaped their worldview, their values, their very understanding of what it meant to be human. Their myths, though steeped in the supernatural, reveal a profound understanding of the human condition. Our fear of the unknown, our longing for meaning and purpose, our eternal quest to make sense of the world around us. Were these gods simply figments of their imagination, or could there be more to the story? We have examined the evidence, the enigmatic handbags held by the gods, the advanced astronomical knowledge encoded in their myths, the descriptions of chariots of fire descending from the heavens. While the debate between skeptics and believers continues, one thing is certain. The Sumerians left behind a legacy of mystery that continues to fascinate and inspire us. Their stories etched in clay and stone are more than just ancient tales. They are a window into the human soul, a reflection of our enduring fascination with the unknown. Their legacy is a reminder that the past is never truly gone. It lives on in the stories we tell, the beliefs we hold, the questions we dare to ask. So we return to the question that has haunted us throughout our journey. Were these gods real, or something far older than myth? Were they powerful deities who shaped the destiny of humanity, or extraterrestrial visitors who left an indelible mark on our planet? The answer, like the universe itself, remains a mystery. Perhaps we are not meant to know for sure. Perhaps the true power of the Sumerian gods lies not in their literal existence, but in their ability to inspire us, to challenge our assumptions, to make us question the very nature of reality. The Sumerian gods may be lost to time, but their stories, their mysteries, their enduring power to ignite the imagination, these will remain with us, beckoning us to keep searching, to keep questioning, to keep exploring the boundaries of what we think we know. The search for knowledge is a never-ending journey. The more we learn, the more we realize how much we don't know. The Sumerian civilization, with its blend of advanced knowledge and enigmatic beliefs, reminds us that the past is a vast and mysterious landscape, ripe for exploration and discovery. So keep exploring, keep questioning, keep seeking out the truth wherever it may lead. For in the words of the ancient Sumerian proverb, the one who knows nothing fears nothing. Don't forget to like, comment, share and subscribe.